Malfunction, 43% win rate right now, lower than she wants to be. As we've talked about before, you kind of want to be on that in the 60% at this stage if you want to be looking good, looking poised, ready to get into the World Cup. But it's doable. Comeback here is definitely possible. Let's take a look at Harrier's stats. Jake, talk to me.
Yeah, it's actually interesting to see the average guess time from Harrier is longer. Malfulnctionn is known, like Blinky, as one of the best moving players in the world. Maybe the second best in the world behind Blinky himself. And the average guess times, they're a bit counterintuitive. I think that Harrier has really been trying to learn moving recently, and he's really been trying to take his time in those moving rounds. So I guess we see that here. But the other stats, super similar, the win rates and the accuracy. And both of these players, further down in the table, really looking to sort of kickstart their campaigns and get it going, because they definitely need to, not only if they want to be in that top 12 to reach the World Cup, but also just to reach those regionals, you need to be in the top 60%, and both players are definitely feeling the pressure.
Yeah, Malfulnctionn with not too many games yet either, so again, could be a really good opportunity here. We'll see how they fare. Both very good moving players, so I expect a lovely little moving game here on our hands.
He's got a Kreis. Do they both know them? So Landkreis, Stade. Yeah, Harrier knows it. This is something I would honestly expect Malfulnctionn also to know, but I'm not positive that she does. Yeah, but the Landkreis, that's a second level subdivision. There's about 400 of them in Germany. Okay, she has it now. So they're both going to be right next to each other here.
Very impressive. Malfulnctionn a little bit closer, but really not too much to write home about. We're going to take it to round 2.
Again, we're going to see some really impressive skills from both these players, but I think in moving, especially Malfulnctionn, again, one of the best moving players in the world. It is amazing what she's able to do.
Quick Darwin
that said,
lock.
She sends no move in 5 seconds. Which is interesting, honestly.
Harrier to follow farther south here. Nope, moves up to Palmerston City, so he's just a town over, big town over here from Darwin. If it is correct. Yep, it is.
Darwin, one of the most recognizable towns in all of Australia. Although, again, it's definitely interesting that that's the strategy Malfulnctionn chose to use there, because maybe that's why her average guess time is lower. Sometimes some rounds she's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
We're both going to get this, let's just move on.
Kind of love to see it, won't lie.
Machakos, surely she knows. Machakos County is east of Nairobi. There we go.
She knows
a second to get there, but Harry knows it as well. And this is just subdivision knowledge. Learning counties of Kenya, really helpful. But there we see the quick ability to 5K from Malfulnctionn. Lining up the road, knew the town, and then within seconds was able to figure out basically the exact road.
So
and that ability
insane.
to 5K is a really underrated skill, and it's something that we don't see in the World League and the World Cup, because it's not, again, 5K versus 4.99 makes no difference in this format, but there are other formats where 5K means everything. And it's amazing how quickly some players can do it.
Going to round 4 here in a turkey by the looks of it. We'll see if the players can get to any signs. But so far, nothing. It does look pretty dry. We need Gelotris here. He'd call it out right now.
Yep. I think there's a sign back there, but I want to say it's a dead end in the coverage because neither player moved any closer to it.
That would make sense.
So Malfulnctionn now trying to go the other way. She doesn't have anything, so this one may just come down to a region guess. See who's able to do it better.
I like the area Malfunction's going. Harrier too, but a little farther south might be nice. But they're pretty close here, so. Oh, yep, Harrier right there.
Excellent guess from Harrier. If anything, I would say that Harrier probably has a bit of an edge when it comes to no moving NPCs. So that round was effectively a no moving round. I think that's going to be where Harrier's strengths are. Malfunction's going to be probably strongest when she finds info. Oh, interesting. It's Greece, but there's a sign in Latin script. That's helpful.
Wow, that is very interesting, actually.
Malfunction's got the exact same sign, but it's in Greek.
Wow. Different coverage years by the looks of it.
I think it's just a different sign. At 100 meters
yeah,
versus
yeah.
200 meters. But Malfulnctionn, I assume, can read Greek, so I think she'll be okay here.
Both players right there pretty much next to each other, though, so... Yep, just about equidistant on the opposite sides of the correct location. Here, tiny bit closer. Quick little 27 here. Here with a little bit of a lead as we go into round 6. Multis are acting up here. Things are getting serious.
Not time to panic just yet. Game is still very, very close, but that round limit, especially in moving games, it approaches very quickly. So you never want to be behind. We'll see if Malfulnctionn can make up this gap. It does say Eindhoven, which... Okay, Harry's got the same sign. Does he see Eindhoven?
I don't think he read it, that it said Eindhoven there. Eindhoven, a pretty big city down in the south. You see Malfulnctionn right there.
Harry's got a road number, though. On a kilometer marker, A2. See if you can find it. The thing is, the A2 is quite long, so I think Harry's a bit too far north here. Yep.
Malfulnctionn closer. Harrier doesn't look too happy with himself there. But still, that's really not too many points, nothing than small country, and they're not too far apart. But Malfulnctionn now takes a little bit of a lead here.
4 rounds to go. Dead even thus far.
Both players above 5,000 health on round 7. So impressive.
Yep. You see the moving quality from both players. They're just so good at what they do. Only one can come out on top here. We will see. I'm not sure they're going the same direction, so it's possible that they'll find differing amounts of information.
We're in France by the looks of it here, but still no signs, no information. Finally, Harrier coming into what appears to be a town. He's got one sign. Looks like it's just an ad. Oh, and another one there. But you do see a yellow D road. Those can repeat throughout France, so they're not too helpful.
Yeah. D-roads are only going to help if you already know what department you're in, which presumably neither player does. Although, does Harrier have a phone code? He does.
That's going to be helpful. Malfulnctionn with a pretty central guess. Harrier, phone code, helps out massively there. 4 times damage. That puts Malfulnctionn on 1,700 health as we go into round 8.
Beautifully done by Harrier, using that phone code. You can learn French phone codes. The first digits give you what sort of quarter of the country you're in, but it's really the second set of digits that tells you the department. And Harrier saw it, he knew it immediately, and he used it beautifully. Rachab Curie Khan. That's in English. Does he know? He knows what that is. Yep, and they both do.
Both there, but Malfulnctionn.
I wonder if Malfulnctionn... I think Malfulnctionn read the province name in Thai, and I think that Harrier read it in English. Just like that Greece round.
Wow.
Harrier just hunts out the Latin script. But this is round 10. I mean... Oh, no, sorry. It's round 9. My bad. 2 rounds left. Malfulnctionn, well behind, needs to make up these points somehow, and is running out of time.
We do have a Japan here. It's pretty big country. Could be doable to get some points back, but again, both these players are moving, both of them trying to find what they can. Malfulnctionn possibly opting for a quicker guess to put the pressure on Harrier in this position where she's down in health. She locks it in. She does have one quick sign there, which actually could have been where she guessed. Harrier has a road now. He knows it's on the coast. They're on the same coast.
Yep. Basically the same guess, very, very close. Look at that from Malfulnctionn.
Insane guess from Malfulnctionn.
But Harrier, he's close enough. He's close enough to keep the lead, and that's all he needed to do. I mean, Malfulnctionn had... I don't think Malfulnctionn even had info other than a plate that was like the region, but didn't have the road and just nailed it. But Malfulnctionn sending the GG preemptively, knowing that it's round 10, and this is very likely to just end the game. We're on a highway in France. I mean, I'm not sure... France is big enough to possibly be the difference, although I think it's quite unlikely. But this is always a tough way to see a game end. See if Malfulnctionn can pull off a miracle here.
Yeah, she'd need to basically get a 5k, and Harrier would have to mess up pretty bad or be on a pretty far away from the correct location. We should end out the moving game here with a Harrier win. It's going to be pretty hard in France, but neither player has a very solid guess yet. They're just letting the time go. Malfunction
Yeah.
moving all around the country here. Harrier's kind of in the center.
Yeah,
Hedging
Malfunction has a
center.
road number, but couldn't find it, and I think this is going to be a Harrier win here. Yep.
It is gonna just be a Harrier win. He takes the moving game on the round limit, and we go on to no moving.
Yep, always a tough way to end. Frustrating for Malfunction when you're going to round 10. You're hoping for a big country, and you get a country that's not quite big enough. But it's not over yet. We've seen Malfunction's quality in no move and NPZ as well, but definitely a hill to climb now.
Going in no move. We're straight into round one. Quick Chile zoom here from Harrier.
Yep, same guess, same result.
Same guess. Go next.
Yeah, we had all those white center lines, which in the Americas generally you're going to have yellow center lines, but Chile specifically generally has white lines. Speaking of Chile, we're back. This one is a lot more south, very different landscape.
We're so back. We're so back, Jake.
We are so back. I like Harry's guess. I thought maybe we had the rhubarb plants that you get near the island of Chiloé, but I may have misidentified the plants. We'll see. I think Malfunction's a bit more south, though, so we'll see. It's right between them. Never mind.
Right between them, but Malfunction is a little closer, so it's some points there. Malfunction holding flawless, round 3.
Yeah, again, both of these players are from the EMEA region. Both know that even if they don't auto-qualify for the World Cup, in order to reach the regionals and have any chance, you need to be in the top 60% of your region, which is not a given. Both players kind of teetering on the edge of that right now. Both feeling like they really need to get some points on the board. So this is a really important game for Malfunction especially. Does not want to lose 2-0 here. I mean, Harry's been on fire recently, to be fair to him. He started the league off really rough, and he's been winning a lot recently. So,
Yeah, it's been honestly great to see, because he was definitely not happy with the way the league started out for him, and has been coming back with a bit of a vengeance.
both players in central Spain here. Makes sense. We have a road sign in the distance. There's blue Spanish highway sign. Flat, dry landscape with hills in the distance. Very typical of Spain. I don't think we'll see too much damage done here.
Yep, just two pretty similar guesses. Is just outside Madrid, Harrier, a little bit closer.
Breaks the flawless, takes a 2-point lead.
2-point lead, I love that. Gotta love the close numbers here. Going into round 4 now.
Interesting. We've got... Yeah. I think it's a low camera, so that would make it Sri Lanka, yeah.
Malfunction a little closer again, but just two quick, pretty central guesses. Takes us to round 5.
Yeah, still not too much to write home about, but I'm sure we'll get some tough ones soon. Is this Tumbes? Or... Yep, that's where Harrier's going.
Tumbes there from Harrier. Will Malfunction follow? Seems she will pretty close, but a little farther south.
These aren't the usual signposts that you get in Peru, but the landscape is just super, almost like savanna bush-y, which is very unusual for Peru, but you get it in this super far north part. Although he looks like he's shifting a little more south towards where Malfunction is. But it is just Tumbes.
What a guess there from Harrier. The confident, quick plonk. Debated it for a little bit, left it there, and he's right there on it.
Harrier is really locked in now. I certainly would not want to be facing him right now.
Going to round 6, South Africa, very dry. Limits your guess to maybe 66% of the country, it being dry like this. But we do have some hills, which is definitely helpful.
Both players going southwest of Lesotho. I don't mind the guess. The hills are sort of almost flat topped, which is typical of the hills you see in Lesotho. And with this dryness, it makes sense that we'd be in that more deserty area. I think pretty similar. I guess Harrier's quite close to Lesotho. I think Malfunction a bit farther away, but again, they've got the same vibe here.
Timer runs out, and it's just northeast of Lesotho in the end.
So much for 66% of the country, because if you asked me to point out the 33% that it probably wasn't, I think that location would have been within the 33%. So
I think me too.
yeah,
I think me too. So maybe I should have said 67%.
shows that you never know what you're gonna get. But is this Sweden? I think they did have a Swedish flag there, although it's just kind of a generic semi-urban round. Not too much to get out of this. We'll see if either of them is able to make a region guess.
Harrier pretty far south right now, which I do like. Definitely could make sense. See where Malfunction follows. Harry with the lock. There's not too much else information to go off of, so he's just going to get the guess in. Put the pressure on.
Malfunction is not zoomed in yet. She goes a little closer to Stockholm. This could be significant.
We have 4 times damage. It is just near Stockholm. That's actually going to be a big hit to Harrier's health. 2,300 damage puts Malfunction in the lead.
3 rounds to go. Malfunction takes the lead. I'm not sure what Harrier... I don't know what pulled him that far south. I'm not sure what it was that he saw. But Malfunction taking advantage of that small mistake. Both players in southern Peru here makes a lot of sense. I think the landscape looks almost like things you would see in northern Chile near Arica. So I do like the southern Peru valley guesses from both players here. I think that makes a lot of sense with what we see.
Agreed. It seems like Malfunction might be looking for a road that lines up here, which I think may be doable, but definitely hard.
Definitely doable, though. There aren't too many roads in Peru. I mean, there are a lot of roads, but it's definitely possible. We've seen Radu do it a lot of times, so
that is true. That is
it
very
can
true.
be done. But I think both guesses here are very, very similar.
Yeah, they're pretty much on top of each other by the looks of it. We'll see Malfunction just a wee bit closer, but really not much there. It does bring Harrier to less than half health. Not a great position, but it's still pretty close. We're going in to round 9. We have a 5 times multiplier now. We're getting near our 10 round limit.
And we're back in Chile here. This is an interesting landscape. It's gonna be one of these national parks, but the thing with southern Chile, at least for me, is it's really hard to tell north versus south. Anything south of like Puerto Montt and north of Punta Arenas, you get a lot of just similar kind of cold looking green landscapes. So we'll see. I didn't quite see exactly where Harrier's pin was, but this round definitely could make the difference.
Wow, Harrier. Amazing guess with 5 times damage. Is going to win the game there and take the overall match.
Amazing from Harrier. I said south of Puerto Montt. It was not south of Puerto Montt, so mad props to Harrier for realizing that and going more north. That's a great guess.